Love the USC talk with Drew Krinsky. You can catch him on Trojan Insider. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, which means I've got my voice. You've got your voice as well with your comments and questions. And of course, we bring in the voice of the best media contributors that you're going to find anywhere from across the country. So Drew just came from USC practice. So this is a perfect time to catch Drew making his way through the rain, as did the Trojans. Drew, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Southern California cannot handle rain, though, so there's a little bit of rain. You got floods everywhere. Quarterbacks, this might have been the first time some of these guys have thrown in the rain. They were not able to connect a lot of passes today. Kind of a sloppy day on the offense, but Sam Darnold showed yesterday that he could play in the rain at USC Pro Day.
Yeah, did he get a chance to check that out, or did you hear any reports from USC Pro Day?
Yeah, Sam apparently looked really good. He heard that it was going to rain, and they originally were going to move it so that wouldn't be an issue. But Sam said, no, I want to show him I can play in the rain. Cleveland, obviously, seems like where he's going to go. The conditions in Cleveland are tough, so to show that you can throw in rough conditions is just another big thing that Sam has, and he had a great day.
Yeah, of course, Drew, when the top of the draft not only includes Cleveland, but it's New York, Buffalo, those kind of teams, then yes, you're going to be able to need to brave the conditions, throw through the wind, rain, and everything else that comes that way in December in particular. Anything else happen at USC Pro Day of note?
So Chris Hawkins, who was a safety, his numbers weren't that great across the board, but he actually, I forget which drill it was. I think it was like a 3-cone drill. And he, I think his time would have put him in like the top 5 of all the safeties in the draft. So that was big. Ronald Jones had a good day. Shannon Nwosu looked good out there too. And then I think that's been all.
Drew, what do you think of Ronald Jones? I loved watching the kid play in college. There were some issues with pass blocking, wasn't used as a receiver, but just to watch a guy take it from the handoff position in the backfield and go, I thought he was top 3 in the nation. And I know that doesn't always translate to the next level, but what are your thoughts about Ronald Jones? I'm just curious.
So when Ronald Jones first came to USC, there was a lot of hype. He was big at McKinney High School in Texas. And then he came in his first year, had some real explosive runs, didn't really show a lot of size. A lot of that was due. USC did pretty good offensive line his first year. A lot of seniors. They had Zach Banner, Chad Wheeler, other guys like that. And then his second year, I thought, kind of stepped back. He was learning more how to read the defense, and he didn't have the size to correspond. So one touch, he would kind of go down. And then his last year, Dylan McCullough was the running backs coach, and he was adamant on getting Ronald Jones some size. So Ronald Jones put on, I think, 12 pounds around there, and he was a whole new beast. He was breaking tackles, still had that speed, and I think last year really proved that he could be a top running back. I have him probably top 3 running backs in the draft for sure. Some team's going to get lucky to get him. And then also, another thing from Pro Day, Steven Mitchell, wide receiver, ran a 4.43, which is pretty impressive. He's had a lot of knee injuries, and I see him come through. I think he's torn his ACL twice. So to have those kind of numbers after doing that is pretty impressive.
Talking USC football with Drew Krinsky. You can join him on Trojan Insider. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel for the very best in college football coverage. We are the voice of college football. And if you just want to check out the audio, that's on Google Play, iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher as well. All right. So those are the future Trojans. We'll get back to the here and now with spring sessions going on right now. So before we get to those guys that are on the field, some notable exceptions for guys that are not on the field for various reasons, Drew.
Yep. So you have Jack Jones, probably the number 2 cornerback to Biggie Marshall. He had some kind of team issue, so the coaches aren't letting him practice this spring. And then he has to miss the first game of the season against UNLV. So that's notable, but it's also good because you're seeing guys like Greg Johnson and Jakari Godfrey get playing time, who didn't get a bunch of playing time. And Greg Johnson's really shown that he can cover that role.
Drew, how would you size up this quarterback competition? I know we've got one sizable absence at this point in Mr. JT Daniels, who will probably make his presence known in August. But, in regards to who's on the field right now with Finks and Sears, how does it look?
Yeah, so obviously with Fink and Sears being out there, there's a huge elephant in the room. Like you said, JT Daniels not being there. But between Fink and Sears, I thought the first couple of days of practice, it was close when I was there. And then you're starting to see Fink break away. He's making nice plays. Fink has a good arm. And he's also quick. He's got a lot of speed. He's able to read the defense. Today he made a real nice play. He had two guys coming at him from the blind spot, from the blind side. And he kind of made a move. And both defenders actually crashed into each other. And then he bombed the ball, I'd say 40, 50 yards down the field for a touchdown. So I'd say Fink is definitely looking better. But with JT Daniels not here, we still don't know who's going to start yet.
Drew Krinsky joining us from Trojan Insider, breaking down USC football. USC's in camp. Of course, they've got several weeks until the spring game. So, Drew, my thoughts here, and this is a pretty standard question that I ask all you guys analyzing the spring practice, is what's going to make you feel better about USC football in regards to what you see on the field during the practice sessions, what you're hearing, what information's coming back, and then also what you're going to see during the spring game that's going to point toward, okay, we're shoring up some areas in which there are some question marks.
Yeah, so I think the big question was, is Matt Fink capable of being a decent quarterback? And I think he's showing that he definitely is capable, making nice plays. Wide receivers, we know that. They have a lot of talent there, and everybody's making plays. Running back, Stephen Carr's out. He had some kind of injury. I forget what it was, but he's repairing that, so he's not here this spring yet. But he's going to be the starter. So that's not a huge concern that he's not there, because there's no questions about him. He looked great last year. Offensive line, that was another question mark because you lost some guys. But you have a lot of size. Austin Jackson, big kid out of Arizona. He's shown that he can play that role. Even center. So Toa Lobendon's out with an injury this spring. And we're seeing Brett Nealon last year come in. Oh, he's a huge kid, super physical. And that's something to look forward to. And then on the defense, USC got a transfer, Caleb Tremblay. And he's dominating all these one-on-one drills. They got him out of a community college just this past class. And that's promising because USC's been lucky. The past couple of years, they've had transfers that have panned out really well. Josh Fatu was a local kid. And then Stevie Tuilalavatu was from Utah. And then Clay Helton was able to get him to flip. And then you saw that Rose Bowl season, Stevie T was making plays pretty much the whole season.
Talking USC football with Drew Krinsky from Trojan Insider. So if you love college football, of course, you subscribe to my YouTube channel because we cover everyone across the board in college football. But even if you just love USC football, I would invite you to jump on board because we've got a number of contributors covering the Trojans front and center. Drew Krinsky here from Trojan Insider. All right, recruiting, obviously the lifeblood of the program. I know that you were pleased with the early returns in regards to who were the main targets and who seemed to be leaning USC for 2019. What are your thoughts a few weeks later?
Yeah, so a few weeks later. So Micah Pittman was a guy that USC was looking at, I guess, but his brother Michael is on USC. He's not – I personally don't think he's as good as Michael. Michael's got the size. Micah's a little shorter. So I think him not putting USC in his top 10 isn't something USC fans should be worried about. There's some quarterbacks in the 2019 class. Jaden Daniels is one of the kids. And then wide receivers, it's going to be another good year in the wide receiver position. especially from modern day high school. Got Braden Dixon, and then there's I'm forgetting someone right now. I forget about names right now, but there's just a bunch of wide receiver talent, a lot of skill players out there, and pretty much everyone I said last week or last time I spoke to you, still same story.
All right, USC football, talking Trojans with Drew Krinsky from Trojan Insider. Just came from USC practice, so we're getting the most recent information and observation and analysis right from the practice field for the Pac-12 champions. Drew, we appreciate you stopping by. You're always welcome. We love the USC take.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mark.